Namaste, crypto fictionados and my fellow capitalists. I hope you guys are doing great, and I'm back again, and I'm going to update you on what is happening, the state of the cryptos, right, guys? So, guys, today Bitcoin is at 19,000. Okay, it has gone down. We have broken the support. 20,000, I think, was the psychological support. Okay, so now we have broken through 20,000. We have gone down to 19. There is no saying how low we can go, seriously, because I don't know. And I think that we could go in the next couple of days and weeks. We could go much lower, but of course we hope it does not happen like that. But we have to be prepared, right? So this is crypto, right? It is volatile. It is volatile. Okay, that's why always be careful in cryptocurrencies, right? So Ethereum now is below 1,000 also was a psychological value, right? It was a psychological amount. We have broke today is 997 now. So now I've been hearing about, so now it's all about who is next, right? So I did a video, right? The Grim Reaper, right, is coming for 3AC, is coming for Celsius already. Almost have killed them already, right? So it's how many big companies are going to go under, right, because of their margin trading and all that, and how much more we can bleed, how many more cuts, and how much more we can bleed. It's like death by 1,000 cuts, right? So the next one that I'm hearing is about Magic Internet Money. And if you can see here, Autism Capital, he wrote a thread about it. We have a scoop from one of our associate autists, right? Magic Internet Money, how ironic, it's called Magic Internet Money, maybe nearly insolvent, right? MIM is one of the largest stable coins of Abracadabra, right? Largest stable coins with a market cap of 300 million. We can't believe that a project called Magic Internet Money has been acting irresponsibly either. God, shit. Last month, during the Terra blow up, 12 million of bad debt was created by Abracadabra, the protocol behind MIM, because liquidations couldn't happen fast enough to cover the protocol's MIM liabilities. This news was swept under the rug. Abracadabra immediately took down the analytics dashboard so they could upgrade it. The Abra team assured our autists that timing of the analytics dashboard going down was a total coincidence. Yeah. Instead of paying back the bad debt out of the MIM treasury, the MIM core team decided to YOLO market buy CRV instead. Guys, CRV free fall also, right? CRV all gone. Of course it's a good coin, but right, everything is going to hell, right? So if you YOLO and if you buy, if you take out debt, especially short-term debt in a long-term market, right, it's going to be a big problem, right? So the price of CRV has been plummeting, and with the dashboard down, there's no easy way of actually verifying how much bad debt is in the protocol at this point. Okay, it is going south. It is going very south, right? We are concerned that the protocol could become insolvent either through the MIM treasury continuing to dump in value or more bad debt created. At that point, the rational thing to do for any MIM holder is to dump it, as the last person holding the bag would get nothing back. Okay, you could read this article. I'm not going to go through this, but it looks pretty bad right now. Magic Internet Money is off peg, is 94 cents as of today, right? So what else? Now 60 billion erased from crypto markets as it dumps below 1K. BTC is sub 20K. So these are the psychological levels that we were hoping that it doesn't break. And if it does break, it must quickly go up, right? It has to quickly go up. But if it's going to go sub below 19, then I think the next bottom will be 15, then 10. It could be 10. If we could break 15, it could be 10. These are all psychological levels. We don't know for sure, right? Anything can happen. So let's just read a little bit on this. The ongoing market crash just doesn't seem to find a bottom as Bitcoin dumped below the coveted 20,000 line to a new multi-year low. The altcoins are deep in the red as well, with ETH slumping below 1,000 for the first time in over a year. Okay, guys, 20,000 for Bitcoin was a 2017 ATH, guys, right? It was just over a week ago when BTC stood tall at 30,000 before the US inflation numbers drove it south by around a grand. The weekend and the start of the week weren't all that positive as the asset fell to 23,000, and now we are below 20, right? So now as we speak, despite all the bearish sentiment, okay, a bit of good news, not good news, but despite all bearish sentiment in the crypto markets, now Adam Back is the guy. A lot of people think that he's Satoshi, right? But whatever it is, he's a Bitcoin core guy, and he's an authority on Bitcoin, right? So I consider him an authority on Bitcoin. So Adam Back is still bullish on the asset and believes it will tap 100k by the end of the year. Okay, Mike Novogratz, it doesn't matter what Mike Novogratz say. Okay, so screw that, right? So guys, so we can see right now a lot of blood in the market, and there is no end to where it can go down. So following Celsius Network, Babel Finance also paused withdrawals after announcing issues with its liquidity, right? And one of the co-founders of 3AC confirmed the rumors that the company will look to sell some of its assets for a bailout after getting liquidated on many of its positions, right? I think it's a big issue. It's a huge issue now. I think they're very hard to survive. I don't think they can survive, and we have to see how many more big companies, right, this crypto dump or crypto winter takes down, right? And the more bigger the company, the more longer the pain, I think, right? I really wish that all the companies could end it right now, and then we take a couple of weeks, maybe a few months, and then we come back again. That's what the best case scenario, right? So I'll talk about the macro stuff later. What I wanted to talk about was Arthur Hayes, and Arthur Hayes is the BitMEX CEO or ex-BitMEX CEO. So this article I was reading that I thought I should share with you guys, and I thought it was very good. Okay, so he was talking about how he was a rower, right? The rowing team and all that, and how in his country where he used to go, his school, his university, near there was a lake or river, and dead bodies sometimes used to come up, right? Dead bodies used to come up. It's the same thing right now in crypto. As we are paddling the rough waters of crypto, we don't know whether all these dead bodies, dead companies and all that, it will come up, right? We don't know, because some of it we don't know how deep they were in all these things, right? Their margin positions probably got wiped out, right? So this article is very interesting, and I really think you should read it. I'll put the link below, but I will just give you the gist of it, what I think is important, and you could read the whole thing on your own, right? So in September 2008, every single investment bank who borrowed in the wholesale short-term debt market but effectively lent long-term either took a government bailout and was bought by a commercial bank or went out of the business. So this is very important to understand. If you are borrowing short-term wholesale, right, and you're going to lock it for a long time, like STETH, okay, like if you are on Liquid Driver or you're on Curve, you put it for 4 years, but you took a short-term loan. If the markets fall, you are in a world of pain, guys. So that's why even I have borrowed on Liquidity, right? And I also need to I also have to put my collateral in, or I have to pay up a debt. But thankfully I didn't take a big of that loan. I took a loan that I could manage it, right? So it's fine, right? But these companies don't play like that. So they play with big money, right? They look at their treasury, they say, okay, I have this much, I can millions, I can borrow this. So they take a loan and then they put stake, and they say, okay, I'm going to get this amount of returns and all that, and then I can slowly pay them back. But when shit hits the fan and everything goes down, the value of your debt to the value of the collateral it's too much already. So you either got to find collateral, or you got to repay your debt. You want to repay your debt, you want to sell, you can't, because your investors are asking you to take out money. They want the money. So you stop withdrawals. You say, no, you're not going to withdraw. So this is what's happening. So this is the article that I want you to read. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with this. The crypto flavor of this in 2022 features firms that borrowed short-term money at high rates from retail hodlers and locked it up in long-term into DeFi yield farming strategies. Okay, when retail recently demanded their capital back, the duration mismatch destroyed these companies' business models. Okay, duration mismatch. BlockFi sold equity first and therefore sold it best. So BlockFi, as you know, is like Celsius. It offers you interest on your Bitcoin, but they did a good thing, right? They sold equity of their company, right? So they procured additional financing at 66% discount to their previous round. So what they raised in their previous round, they had to go for a 66 discount because they needed to raise money fast, right? But at least they did not have to halt withdrawals, right? They didn't have to take it from their depositors. That's one thing, okay? So those who do not study history are doomed to repeat it. There's nothing special about this business model except that somehow these companies were able to trade at astronomical price to book ratios. Thank you, VC money. Keep pumping the market full of fee-adjusted beta. Okay. In his previous article, Shut It Down, I laid out my thesis for why I believe the market bottomed shortly after the Terra USD-led crypto market implosion. I also described my view that while I believed a bottom was in, that didn't mean the market wouldn't retest those levels in short term, as the high clergy of finance wield their flaming sword of rate hikes to cool rampant inflation. The Fed just started the reduction of its balance sheet this month. The ECB, right, will shortly enact its first rate hike. Okay, given the likely fallout of these events, and as I look at the Northern Hemispheric summer calendar, there's one particular weekend that strikes me as a likely candidate to host the final showdown between panic sellers and a bidless market. And that's the weekend of July 4th. Okay, by June 30th, second quarter end, the Fed would have enacted a 75 BPS rate hike and begun shrinking its balance sheet. July 4th falls on a Monday and is a federal and banking holiday. This is the perfect setup for a yet mega crypto dump. These are the three ingredients to the humble pie. So he's saying the three things that will happen for a real dump that he thinks is going to happen. So risk assets will again rediscover their dislike for tightening USD liquidity conditions sponsored by the Fed. Crypto funds must raise fiat to satisfy redemption requirements by continuing to sell any liquid crypto asset. No fiat can be deployed until Tuesday, July 5th. Okay, this is what he's saying. Why he thinks that there is another sell-off. There's going to be another huge sell-off in the week around July 4th, right? The first week of July. So the next thing he's saying is the US CPI, okay, Consumer Price Index for May hit a fresh 40-year high of 8.6% year on year. The politics dictate the Fed must go larger and longer with rate hikes. We saw that yesterday with a historic 75 basis points hike by the Fed, right? So they raised by 0.75. Now, inflation is 8.6. Inflation is this high. They will need to raise up, and they will need to raise it up fast for the interest rate to be matching to the inflation rate, right? So I suspect that the political pressure for the Fed to be perceived as fighting inflation won't let up until after the November US midterms elections. Okay, at which point it becomes a fight for the 2024 presidential election. Okay, the rest we don't have. The next thing is the number one thing that American voters care about is their personal finances, juicy markets, because a lot of boomers, right? A lot of baby boomers, their retirement fund is tied to the stock market, right? So market is important, right? Both employment and financial, that will win votes, right? The easiest way to accomplish both of these goals is printing money. While long-term effects are deleterious, right? That's the next administration problem. So what he's saying is that although printing so much money, right, has a harmful effect if you print too much, right? But he's saying that the Biden administration will not care and will just continue to print and go brrr all the way, right? This has to be done. Has to be done because when the printer goes brrr, right, when the printing machine starts, the money finds its way right to the money market. Right, it goes to the money market to the stock market, everybody rally, yeah. It goes to the crypto market, and Bitcoin price and Ethereum price goes up. This is the sad reality of truth, right? This is how it works. So he's saying that this has to happen because of the presidential election. They have to show, right? But my take is it should be done. I hope that it'll be done before the midterms itself, right? Okay, so that's the thing. While the long-term effects are deleterious, right? That's the next administration problem. Therefore, watch quickly how the Biden administration pivots in its messaging from what they are doing right now, because the Biden administration is telling Fed must tackle inflation. Now they're going to change it very soon. They will change it to Fed must ease financial conditions so that American jobs can be created. Okay, with the POTUS at his back, the Fed can get back to business as usual. Okay, so he's saying that once this is done, once Biden says, the Fed must ease financial conditions, that is the cue for the Fed to start printing a lot of money, and that is what they do. They print a lot of money, right? So another thing he gives is a formula where crypto valuation is equals to technology plus fiat liquidity. The fiat liquidity situation will be brutal for the next 6 to 12 months, right? It is during this period that we shall discover what multiple the market ascribes to what the faithful believe is of game-changing tech. Right? This game-changing tech previously commanded a very high price to metrics ratio. For the foreseeable future, the ratio will be sliced and diced to unimaginably low levels. So guys, so at the macro level, we are looking at China, right? So China is, Xi Jinping has his 20th National Congress. That's in November. Okay, he has to show good economy, right? Right now Shanghai is locked down. He has to show a recovery, a strong economic recovery, right? Unemployment is happening in China. It's quite bad, right? The property prices are going down, and Chinese people don't like when their property prices go down, right? Because it's a form of investment. So Xi Jinping is having his issues, right? The National Congress. Biden is having his midterms, the midterms, right? These things have to prop the market up. No choice. So this is one thing I'm personally banking on, that both of them prop the market up, and of course the war to end pretty quickly. So once these three things happen, if we see the three things happen, when they start propping their market up and all that, and the war also comes to a closure, I think that's the time we can really fly. Okay guys, so whatever it is, these are my thoughts, and you should never follow what a guy on YouTube says, right? I just try to bring you the best knowledge that it's available, and I search the internet and I research hard just to tell you that this is happening, right? What you do with the information, that's up to you, okay? But be careful, stay safe. Right now we are below 19, right? There's no telling how low we can go, right? Like I said, if we hit 15, we can go to 10. We go below 10, we can hit to 2 to 1. I don't know. So you don't bet the house. And if you want to buy, we have dry powder. If you have your ammo, just DCA slowly, right? So guys, stay safe. Let me know what you think about this video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Please subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you the next time. Namaste.